Shall I take my glasses off?
Another person who'll need little introduction to those of you who are already involved in Forever. It's our second top distributor, Adam May. But for those that haven't met Adam, here's an opportunity for us to find out just a little bit about Adam's thoughts on the Forever business. Adam, you know, reading the press, it's doom and gloom, the economy's crashing. Is that good or bad for joining Forever, do you think?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I built my business, I started building my business in a recession back in 1993. And at that time, this kind of climate, economic climate, makes people very uncomfortable. If they're not being made redundant, the person in the desk next door, or they know somebody who is. And it's at this time that people start to look outside the box. They start to examine their other options, whereas when times are good and the money's coming in, they just keep their heads down, they keep going, they forget about the fact they're never seeing their families, they're never playing that round of golf they wanted to, they're not doing the things they really want to, they just get on and work. Now's a great time to be building a business.
We're likely to see probably a couple of hundred visitors or guests here this evening looking at the opportunity. Do you think there's still scope for plenty more in the Forever business? Well,
we both know how many people are actually active in the UK, and as a percentage of the population, I don't think it even scrapes 0.1% of the population. So if we're saying is there any more opportunity in the UK, I genuinely say we haven't begun to scratch the surface yet.
We've spoken to a number of people this evening who said that at the start of their Forever journey they were a little cautious, a little sceptical. What's your view on how you can overcome that? If you're just getting started in Forever, what would be your advice? If somebody was joining your team, for example, what would be your advice to have a fast start with Forever?
Well, they need to schedule in attending all the core trainings. They need to go to a business presentation once a week. Because, you know, we have a saying, which is that if you've had a good week, the meeting needs you. If you've had a bad week, you need the meeting. They need to talk to their sponsor on the phone every day, even if it's only for 2 minutes, to say hi, or just to say what you've done that day. They need to make themselves accountable to their sponsor in terms of the activity they're doing. And they need to have a weekly planning meeting with their sponsor, who will then guide them through the activities they need to do, hold their hand and coach them on getting good at them. And it is only a handful of activities.
So from small beginnings in London, you've built an international business?
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, about 4 days ago, I got a cheque from Chile.
Chile?
I didn't even know I had a business in Chile. I mean, it wasn't huge. It was only for $100.23. But you know what? You get a few of those coming in, and then a few of the big ones coming in, and before you know it, you're making a pretty big income.
So again, for the benefit of the new people, how would you get a cheque from Chile when you've never been to Chile?
Because if I introduce somebody here, who then subsequently went on and did introduce somebody in Chile, the person I introduced here would have a business in Chile, but so would I, because I introduced them, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I got a cheque a few months ago from Colombia, which was rather amusing when I went to the bank to cash it, with all the connotations of Colombia and what goes on there. But I'd imagine for just over $100, I'd be a rather more successful drug smuggler if I was getting a cheque for a lot more than that anyway.
How many markets around the world do you get cheques from, roughly?
About 40.
40? Fantastic. Did you ever imagine day one that would happen to you?
No, actually. I thought my sole ambition when I looked at Forever was I thought maybe I could make an extra couple of grand a month.
Yep.
But very quickly I revised that when within 6 months I was making a couple of grand a month. And then within 21 months it was 5 grand a month. And each time you see your income grow, you keep thinking, well, maybe I can grow it a bit more. And so when people join and they come in and they look at people like myself who've been in the business for 17 years and they think, I'm never going to build a business like Adam. I didn't do this overnight. You know, it's taken me 17 years to get where I am today, and people need to realise that.
Which would be true of any business, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, most businesses fail. 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 5 years. The businesses that succeed don't make money normally till their 4th or 5th year. So for people to join and expect to be making a fortune overnight is just totally unrealistic.
So you see the future as bright for people joining the Forever organisation today?
Absolutely. Join in the UK, build a business here. You'll find it grows internationally. If you have any international contacts anyway, you're lucky because you can do that. But there is a phenomenal opportunity here in the UK today.
Thanks for your time, Adam, and
Pleasure.
for your words of inspiration.
Good to see you.
Thanks, everyone.